In the year 2000, there lived a young man named David. David's life was intertwined with that of his beloved wife, Annie. They both worked for different companies in Australia, leading busy lives filled with deadlines and responsibilities. However, amidst the chaos of their daily routines, they shared a common passion: surfing. Before their marriage, David and Annie had been the best surfers at their university, winning numerous awards and accolades. Surfing was not just a hobby, it was a part of their souls, a way to connect with the beauty of the ocean and the thrill of riding its waves. But as time passed and their careers demanded more attention, David and Annie spent fewer days at the seaside, indulging in their favorite pastime. The sea, which had once been their sanctuary, seemed like a distant dream. As the year drew to a close and the promise of a new one beckoned, David and Anni sat down for dinner one evening. They made a heartfelt decision. No matter how busy life got, they would never let go of their annual tradition of celebrating the new year by the sea. Annie suggested that this year they should explore the pristine shores of their own country, Australia, as they had often favored foreign destinations for their surfing adventures. With their resolve, the couple began preparing for their long-awaited New Year's trip. David packed their bags with their swimwear and surfboards, while Annie diligently cleaned their home, preparing it for the arrival of the fresh year. The day passed quickly, and before they knew it, the dawn of the new year was upon them. In the early hours of the next day, David and Anni were ready to embark on their seaside journey. They loaded their bags and surfboards into the car, anticipating the adventure that awaited them. When they arrived at their destination, they found a lively crowd who had also chosen to celebrate the start of the new year by the sea. The atmosphere was filled with laughter, joy, and the promise of new beginnings. It seemed like everyone was eager to start the year on a positive note. David and Annie soon spotted a group of their close friends who had come to the same seaside location for the festivities. Excited to see familiar faces, they greeted their friends with warm hugs and joyful smiles. The day was off to a perfect start. As the sun climbed higher in the sky, David and Annie decided it was time to hit the waves. They changed into swimwear, grabbed their surfboards, and waded into the inviting waters. The rhythmic sound of the waves crashing on the shore welcomed them back to their element. In the water, they felt a sense of freedom and serenity that had been missing from their lives for too long. Their bodies moved in perfect harmony with the ocean's currents as they rode wave after wave, their worries fading away with each passing moment. But just as they were about to return to the shore, a sudden bone-chilling presence sent shivers down their spines. In the depths of the water, a colossal great white shark emerged. Its enormous jaws glistened with menace as it surveyed the ocean's surface, searching for prey. David and Annie began paddling towards the safety of their surfboards, their hearts pounding with terror. The great white shark, however, had other plans. It moved swiftly, its dark, lifeless eyes fixed on the two vulnerable surfers. Annie, who was closer to the monstrous predator, couldn't reach her surfboard in time. She cried out to David for help as she desperately tried to fend off the great white shark's advances. A collective gasp arose from the beach as onlookers realized the perilous situation unfolding in the water. People rushed to help, but it was a sight none of them could have prepared for. The enormous great white shark was determined, and its massive size made it a formidable adversary. Perhaps realizing this was not its usual prey, the shark retreated from the depths. The danger had passed, but it was too late for David and Annie. The realization struck hard as Annie and David were pulled from the water. Rescuers arrived just moments too late, their lifeless bodies a grim testament to the ferocity of the great white shark's assault. A palpable sense of grief and despair descended upon the beach, casting a heavy shadow over the once vibrant scene. Beachgoers who had moments ago witnessed a harrowing spectacle were now faced with the grim reality that the lives of two brave souls had been tragically cut short by the relentless predator of the deep. David and Anni were remembered not only for their love of surfing, but also for the warmth and kindness they shared with everyone they met. The new year had begun with a somber note, but their legacy would forever shine brightly, like the sun dancing on the waves they so dearly loved. In the picturesque year of 1998, against South Africa's golden coastline, two inseparable friends, Lily and Zoe, embarked on a journey that would etch their names into the annals of their small town's history. The setting was a quaint university nestled within the heart of this coastal town, where academic aspirations ran parallel to their shared love for the majestic sea. Lily and Zoe's friendship was as sturdy as the waves they surfed upon, and a bond formed not just through proximity, but also through their shared passion for riding the mighty ocean. The university campus knew them as the dynamic duo, whose synchronized moves on the surfboard were as awe-inspiring as their enthusiasm. Lily's voice rang excitedly one balmy afternoon as they lounged in their university courtyard amidst a close-knit group of friends. Zoe immediately jumped on board, never one to shy away from a thrilling challenge. The group agreed to spice things up with a friendly competition between Lily and Zoe. The date was set for December 23rd, right after the semester break. As the university exams loomed on the horizon, Lily and Zoe found themselves in the throes of a rigorous academic battle. Despite the competition brewing, they remained steadfast in their belief that their friendship would remain unscathed. As the anticipated day drew near, they were enveloped in a whirlwind of excitement. Bags were packed and surfboards waxed to perfection. They notified each member of their group, and the atmosphere was electric with anticipation as they prepared for their journey to the seaside. With her adventurous spirit, Zoe took the wheel, navigating the winding roads leading to the South African coastline. The friends, their hearts bursting with anticipation, arrived at the seaside destination. They exchanged knowing glances as they saw the vast ocean expanse shimmering under the sun's golden rays. With their surfboards in hand and the thrill of adventure coursing through their veins, they were ready for the challenge. Before taking to the waves, they shared a moment of camaraderie, clinking glasses of chilled drinks to toast their upcoming adventure. The salty breeze, the rhythmic sound of the waves, and the laughter of friends blended seamlessly into a symphony of joy. Once they were all geared up in their swimwear and ready to ride the waves, they attracted a curious audience of beachgoers and fellow surf enthusiasts. Cameras and camcorders were ready, as everyone wanted to capture the magic of Lily and Zoe's surf duel. Out on the water, the friends embraced the serenity of the ocean. With each wave they conquered, they felt their connection grow stronger, their laughter echoing through the salty air. Their friends on the shore cheered them on, documenting every twist and turn of this memorable day. As they ventured further into the depths of the sea, the unimaginable happened. A colossal great white shark lurked under the surface, hidden from their view. The vibrations of human activity drew the beast, and it emerged from the depths with an unsettling grace. Unbeknownst to Lily and Zoe, a moment of terror awaited them. On their surfboards, they continued to revel in the thrill of riding the waves, completely oblivious to the impending danger. However, their friends on the shore were filled with unease as they noticed the enormous shadow moving beneath the surface. The great white shark suddenly lunged at their surfboards, drawn in by curiosity and the allure of the unfamiliar. The impact was swift and forceful, sending both friends into a frantic struggle for balance. The sea around them churned with a fury they had never encountered before. Their friends on the shore watched in horror as the great white shark attacked, its jaws clamping onto both surfboards. Lily and Zoe desperately fought to regain their balance, but the sheer force of the shark's attack left them teetering on the edge of disaster. Their friends on the shore cried out for help, paralyzed with fear and helplessness. Brave souls rushed into the water, risking their lives to save Lily and Zoe. A chilling silence fell upon the once roaring sea as they reached the scene. All that remained were fragments of surfboards, and the crimson stains tainted the water. After satisfying its curiosity, the great white shark disappeared into the depths, leaving behind a tragedy that would live in the memories of their friends forever. The news of Lily and Zoe's untimely demise sent shockwaves through their families, friends, and the university community. The heartbreaking videos captured on their mobile phones served as a poignant reminder of their young lives cut short by the relentless power of the sea. In Australia, there is a tale of a young woman named Ava, who was not just any ordinary young woman. She was a dedicated working professional, but what set her apart was her fervent passion for water, particularly swimming and surfing. From the tender age of 18, Ava had been drawn to the waves, and it was in the embrace of the ocean that she found her true solace. Ava was not alone in her love for the sea. Her boyfriend Jack shared the same enthusiasm for water sports. Fate had brought them together in love and the workplace, where they toiled side by side. Their shared passion for the ocean was the glue that bound their hearts together. They often dreamed of embarking on a grand adventure, exploring the seas of a foreign land. The days seemed to stretch endlessly as they eagerly awaited the announcement of their next vacation. The company they worked for was renowned for its unwavering commitment to its employees' well-being, and it was during one of the company's meetings the much-anticipated news finally arrived. A week of blissful holidays lay ahead, and Ava and Jack were overjoyed. The wait had been worth it. One bright and sunny day, Ava approached Jack to discuss their grand plan for the upcoming vacation. She had a glimmer in her eye as she spoke about California, renowned for its stunning coastline and world-famous waves. Jack's eyes lit up in agreement, and they couldn't contain their excitement as they began charting their journey. The next day, Jack took a decisive step and booked 2 tickets for their adventure. They purchased brand-new surfboards, packed their bags with essentials, and counted the days until their departure. The tickets were scheduled for a flight on the 2nd of the month, and the couple couldn't wait to embark on their dream vacation. As the departure date drew nearer, their excitement grew. On the appointed day, they arrived at the airport, checked in, and boarded the flight together. They left behind the familiar with every passing mile and ventured into the unknown. The flight touched down in California at 2 p.m., and their hearts soared with anticipation. Ava and Jack wasted no time after checking into their hotel and savoring a sumptuous lunch. They ventured out to explore the beautiful sights, creating lasting memories. The following morning, they rose early and headed to the seaside. Their first order of business was to rent a car and load it up with their cherished surfboards. The coastline of California glistened in the early morning sun, inviting them to partake in its aquatic wonders. With boards in tow, they made their way to the beach, ready to ride the waves. Their joy knew no bounds as they paddled into the deep blue sea. Ava and Jack shared laughs, stories, and a sense of serenity as they surfed together. However, fate had a cruel twist in store for them that day. A great white shark lurked in the ocean's depths, its massive form prowling beneath the surface. Unbeknownst to Ava and Jack, danger was inching closer with every passing second. As they ventured further from shore, the ominous shadow of the great white shark cast a pall over their idyllic day. The scent of people and their surfboards had drawn it to the surface. Slowly but surely, it approached. Its predatory instincts locked onto its unsuspecting prey. The shark circled them, its immense presence sending shivers down Ava's spine. She felt an eerie, inexplicable dread as the beast came closer, its dark eyes fixated on her surfboard. In a sudden, heart-wrenching moment, the shark lunged, its jaws snapping shut around her board and body. She screamed in panic. The roar of the ocean muffled her cries. Jack, mere yards away, witnessed the horrifying spectacle. His heart pounded as he realized his beloved Ava was in mortal danger. With a surge of adrenaline, he paddled towards her, desperate to save her from the monstrous jaws that threatened to engulf her. The scene was a nightmare unfolding in real time. The great white shark, not content with its initial strike, turned its attention to Jack as he approached. With terrifying speed, it bore down on him, its massive maw open wide. Just when all hope seemed lost, fate intervened in the form of a passing ship. Its crew had spotted the commotion in the water and sped toward the struggling couple. The sailors wasted no time helping Jack, pulling him aboard just as the jaws of the great white shark closed behind him. As they sped away from the monstrous predator, the crew tended to Jack's wounds. His body bore the marks of a fierce struggle, but he was alive, spared from the jaws of death. With their assistance, he was swiftly transported to the nearest hospital. The doctors worked tirelessly to save Jack's life, performing surgeries to mend his injured body. The shark attack had left its mark, and Jack faced a long and arduous road to recovery. Yet through the pain and suffering, he clung to one thought, the love of his life, Ava. In his hospital room, Jack recounted the harrowing tale of the shark attack to the hospital staff. His story was one of bravery and love, a testament to his bond with Ava. Their ordeal spread like wildfire through the media in California and Australia. Television channels and newspapers clamored for interviews with Jack, eager to share the story of his courage and his love for his girlfriend. Jack's strength gradually returned as the days turned into weeks, and he was released from the hospital. The support and encouragement he received from the people around him were a source of solace in his darkest hours. But despite his recovery, a heavy shadow hung over him. Ava was gone, taken from him in a cruel twist of fate. Jack became a legend in the world of surfers, not for his exploits on the waves, but for his indomitable spirit and unwavering love for Ava. He vowed to honor her memory by continuing to chase the waves they both loved, knowing she would forever be a part of the ocean they had shared. In the year 1982, amidst the vibrant history of Chile, there lived a man named Leo. He was the CEO of a prominent Chilean company, a driven and successful individual who prioritized his work over everything else. However, Leo's life was about to take an unexpected turn that would change him forever. Leo had a small group of close-knit friends from his university days. Among them, his best friend Carlos stood out. Carlos was well aware of Leo's passion for surfing, a shared interest they had during their university years. One fateful day, Carlos called Leo, not with the usual chit-chat, but with a proposal that would rekindle Leo's long-lost love for the waves. Carlos noticed Leo's years of tireless work and brought up the topic of Leo's love for surfing during their university days. He suggested planning a trip to the Chilean seaside on the upcoming Sunday to relive those adventurous moments. Leo's eyes lit up at the prospect of hitting the waves again. The mere thought of the sea made him smile, and he eagerly agreed. Leo also considered inviting his girlfriend Laura, who agreed to come along. The plan was set in motion. Leo and Carlos prepared to make the most of their day by buying new surfboards and gathering the necessary gear. Excitement rippled through their veins, knowing they were about to embark on a memorable adventure. On the appointed Sunday, the group gathered at Leo's house. Alongside Leo and Carlos were Laura and two other close friends, Sofia and Diego. The group consisted of 5 excited souls, ready to dive into the ocean and relish the thrill of riding the waves. Carlos arrived at Leo's house early in the morning, surfboards securely strapped to the roof of his old, trusty Volkswagen van. The sun shone brilliantly, and the sky was clear, a perfect day for surfing. As they set off towards the seaside, the van was filled with laughter and chatter, reminiscing about their university days and the countless surfing adventures they had shared. The drive to the Chilean seaside was filled with anticipation and nostalgia. Leo's heart raced with excitement, knowing they were about to relive some of the best moments of their lives. The beach came into view, its golden sands stretching out before them, and the rhythmic sound of the waves beckoned them closer. Once they arrived at the seaside, the group wasted no time. They set up their spot near the water, the sea breeze invigorating their spirits. They popped open a few beers, laid out a picnic spread, and enjoyed a leisurely lunch, sharing stories and laughter. As the sun climbed higher in the sky, the group couldn't contain their excitement any longer. Leo and Carlos grabbed their surfboards, ready to hit the waves once again. Laura, always the documentarian of their adventures, started filming them with a camcorder. Leo and Carlos paddled out into the crystal-clear waters, their boards slicing through the waves effortlessly. They felt alive, the exhilaration of riding the waves flooding back, and the camaraderie they shared was unmatched. Laura captured their thrilling rides on camera, cheering them on from the shore. However, the idyllic day was about to take a nightmarish turn. Just as Leo and Carlos were catching another wave, something massive and menacing lurked beneath the surface. A great white shark, a formidable apex predator, had sensed their presence and was drawn to the commotion. Suddenly, the azure water around Leo and Carlos turned murky with fear. The great white shark emerged from the depths, its massive dorsal fin slicing through the water's surface. Panic surged through both surfers as they realized the direness of their situation. With heart-pounding intensity, they tried to paddle back to shore as fast as they could, but the relentless predator closed in on them rapidly. In a horrifying moment, the great white shark lunged towards Carlos, its jaws snapping shut around him. Blood stained the water and the sea turned into a dreadful battleground. Leo, devastated by the loss of his best friend, reached the shore in a state of shock. He screamed for help, but it was too late. The great white shark, having claimed Carlos, circled back and attacked Leo. The monstrous creature's teeth pierced his body, and Leo's life was extinguished within moments. Laura, Sofia, and Diego watched in horror from the beach, helpless witnesses to the gruesome tragedy unfolding before them. Tears streamed down their faces as they called for help and desperately sought assistance. The news of the deadly shark attack sent shockwaves through Chile. It was a stark reminder of the unpredictable dangers beneath the beautiful Chilean waters. Great white sharks along the Chilean coastline posed a serious threat that year, which would go down in history as a significant event. As Leo's friends and family mourned their devastating loss, they couldn't help but reflect on the irony of the situation. Leo had returned to the waves he loved so much, only for them to become the stage of a horrifying and tragic end. His memory lived on, a reminder of nature's unpredictable and powerful forces that could strike even in the most idyllic settings. The deadly encounter in the Chilean waters served as a somber lesson, a reminder that nature's beauty could be as awe-inspiring as it was merciless. Leo's passion for surfing had brought him immense joy, but it had also led to a heartbreaking and untimely demise, leaving a void that could never be filled.